Today is 30th of September, and it is pre-Independence Day for celebration for our great country, Nigeria. So we're celebrating Nigeria in advance against tomorrow. And there's so much to be grateful for in this country. One, we're grateful that so far we have no war. As a country, we've gone through a lot. And what we've gone through in many countries would have erupted into war, but we are still here today without war. Economically, we can say that we have nosedived to the, to the negative. However, we can still eat. And I tell you, a lot of people are still building. A lot of people are still making their millions, even in the midst of the difficulties happening in Nigeria now. And in the health sector, yes, COVID-19 came, but if you look at Africa and the world, Nigeria is not as hit as it has, occurred in other countries. When I look at education, yes, our educational system is not as vibrant as it used to be, but it is hopeful. So we are thanking God for His mercies over Nigeria, and we look forward to a better Nigeria.
All right, that is important. So we're going to be talking about that better Nigeria. That is what all of us have signed for. We need a better country, a better Nigeria. Of course, that better Nigeria will come through our effort, through our sweat. All of us, we're going to sweat to make sure that better Nigeria become a reality. All right, today we're going to be talking about education, of course, from the point of view of education. We have talked about, look at Nigeria at 61 from the point of view of security. We're looking at it from food production, maybe later today. We're looking at it from youth participation. We're looking at it from different angles. So with you, we are looking at it from education, from our educational system, program, and all of it. So looking at Nigeria that was just born, I'm talking of 61 years ago, 1960. What kind of education did we have in the country? What kind of program did we have in terms of education and all that?
Okay, I would say that shortly after our independence, our educational system was doing very well. We had a lot of missionary schools around then, and the government, were very focused in ensuring, especially in Lagos State, in giving free education to all citizens. I am a beneficiary of free education system in Lagos. I was born in Lagos and grew up in Lagos. When I was younger, my primary school, my secondary school was all free. And textbooks were given for free, maths, everything, all stationaries free. And our teachers then were quite educated. When I even got into the university, my first year, we had children from private schools. They couldn't still beat us that came from the public schools. So this tells us that the standard in the public school many years ago was very, very high. But today, what we have is a lot of public schools have gone into decline. The educational system is poor because teachers are not well paid and proper monitoring. I would say leadership of the educational sector has not been as it should be, and this has led to the rise of the private sector, private schools. Now, the private schools, yes, it's not very good with good concepts. They bring the latest educational technology or best practice into play. However, how many Nigerians can actually afford very good private schools? So what has happened is that we have a lot of people still in the poverty or illiterate strata, and we have the elite having the children attend the best of education in the country. And what this has caused is, one, a lot of youth are going to be unemployed without basic education. And I fear this might lead to greater crisis, which has already started. Today we have banditry. It is out of having youth that are not educated They come out, don't know what to do. They get into banditry, kidnapping, all kinds of crime. So you see, the crime rate has increased in the country because the educational system has failed these children, this youth. Many parents, as I said earlier, can't afford quality education because of the decline of quality public schools. So that is the difference we have in yesteryears and today. Today we have a lot of private schools. How many can afford very good private schools? Then we have even the other private schools, the lower private schools that a lot of parents can afford. And the educational quality there is nothing to write home about, because they also have to look at the business in education. So they take school site holders as teachers, and these people are not trained teachers. These people can't really deliver the curriculum. So we now have a lot of youth out there giving, can I say, half-baked education because of the situation we found ourselves as a country.
All right. Now, taking it from you that that you even have a very good experience when you were going to school in the period after independence in Nigeria. Now, I want to remain a little bit in our nascent period, now when we were just born as a country, 1960, 1961, 1962, in those period. Now, those people that actually fought for the Nigerian independence, some of these people went abroad and studied, which means that they understand the value of education. So, as we got independence, now we are free as a nation. How much effort was put into our educational program? Do we even have our own educational program, or do we simply copy from the West? That is my question, because of course that will lead to another thing that I'm going to ask you after this, please.
Nigeria as a country, we follow the British pattern of education. However, we have our own Nigerian curriculum. And the methodology of delivering this is so different from the British one. We are more into the root learning than the critical thinking, the hands-on activity, and the problem-solving kind of education, which would have helped us more. So what do we have today? We have the Nigerian curriculum designed by us. And I think, for me, I think it's a very deliberate one to give, our colonial masters did this deliberately, giving us an education where we can only read and write and not be able to solve problems and not be able to think critically and not be able to be innovative. And this has been the major problem of what has happened to us as a nation, where you have graduates that can think, graduates that can't become innovative, and it has destroyed our nation because we were only told to read and write, and that is what we are doing. And that is where it has landed us, in a country where we don't plan ahead, in a country where anything happens, anything is accepted, no acceptable standards maintained by everyone. I would say, because of this method of system of education that was handed down to us, it has made most Nigerians, they're not patriotic. You will hardly hear Nigerians say, God bless Nigeria, because it is not in the curriculum. I teach both the Nigerian, British, and also I'm very familiar with the American curriculum. Embedded in this curriculum is patriotism, love for your country. They teach it. Now, what do we have here? What do they hand down to us? We are not proud of who we are as a people. We prefer whatever is Western and is outside the country. We cannot solve problems. If you can't solve problems, you can't be a good leader. We have serious leadership issues, and this has caused a network of issues and has landed us in this trap that we're in. We look forward, as I said, we were talking about the better Nigeria. We look forward to coming out of this web of trouble or a web of issues that the educational system has created.